On his ninth attempt to reach the summit, Kian didn't fall because his legs gave out. He fell because his mind told him to. 100 meters from the top, his body was still strong. But somewhere behind his eyes, a voice whispered, "You don't belong up here." And he listened. He sat down in the snow right there and let the mountain win. Again, if you've ever quit something not because your body couldn't do it, but because your mind wouldn't let you try, this is for you. Kian grew up in a small town at the foot of the Kestrel Range, where the mountains were so close you could see them from your kitchen window every morning. His father had been a guide up there for 20 years. His older brother had summited 3 of the hardest peaks in the range before he turned 25. And Kian loved the mountains too. He loved them the way you love something you're terrified will never love you back. He trained his body relentlessly, ran 6 miles before sunrise, carried weighted packs up local trails until his shoulders bled. He was stronger in some ways than his brother had ever been. But every time he stood at the base of a real climb, something in his chest would tighten. A familiar thought would arrive like clockwork. "You're not built for this. Your brother was. You're just trying to keep up." He never told anyone about that voice. He carried it alone, the way people do when they've decided their fear is a private shame instead of something almost everyone quietly carries too. By the time Kian attempted the Kestrel summit for the 8th time, he had every physical advantage. His gear was flawless, and still at almost the exact same point every time, 300 meters from the top, where the ridge narrows and the wind turns vicious, he stopped. The 8th attempt, he told himself it was the weather. The 9th attempt, there was no excuse left to hide behind. But his mind produced the same old sentence, word for word, like a script it had memorized. "You don't belong up here." And for the 9th time, he obeyed it. He climbed back down in silence. His guide partner, an older woman named Petra, didn't say a word until they reached the base camp. "Your legs never fail you, Kian. I've climbed beside you. It's not your legs." That night, alone in his tent, Kian finally admitted something to himself. He had never once trained his mind. The next morning, Kian didn't pack his gear right away. Instead, he sat outside his tent. He closed his eyes, and instead of picturing failure, the way his mind always did automatically, he forced himself, clumsily, awkwardly, like learning to walk again, to picture the summit. He sat there for 20 minutes, replaying that imagined moment over and over. His boots on the final rock, the wind against his face, his own voice saying "I made it" instead of "I can't." At first it felt fake, like lying to himself, but by the 15th repetition, something shifted. His breathing slowed. His chest, which had been tight for years, loosened by a fraction. He stood up. His legs were the same legs. His lungs were the same lungs. But something behind his eyes had quietly rearranged itself. For the first time in 9 attempts, Kian didn't feel like he was about to fight the mountain. He felt like he already knew what it was going to feel like to stand on top of it. The 10th attempt began exactly like the 9th. Same trail, same gear, same altitude. But every morning of the climb, before he took a single step, Kian sat for 10 minutes and rehearsed the summit in his mind. When the ridge narrowed at the 300-meter mark, the old voice arrived right on schedule. But this time, Kian didn't argue with it, and he didn't obey it either. He simply noticed it the way you'd notice weather. Then he kept walking. His hands trembled on the rope. His heart pounded against his ribs. But his mind, for the first time, wasn't fighting his body. It was matching it, step for step, breath for breath. When his boot finally landed on the flat rock at the summit, there was no fireworks moment, just a quiet, solid feeling settling into his chest. He had trained for this moment for 10 years, but he had only earned it in the last 10 minutes of the climb before, the 10 minutes he spent training his mind instead of his legs. Kian didn't become a different person on that mountain. He became the person he had been rehearsing in his mind for one single morning. If there's a summit you've been circling for 9 attempts or 90, it might not be your strength that's missing. It might just be that you've never once practiced believing you could stand on top of it. Train your mind, and your body will follow it anywhere. If this story reached something in you, like and subscribe to Glowing Flames. There's another spark waiting for you next week.